Which of these quarterbacks do you think is in a right situation to win right away?
I'm going with Case Keenum. I mean, I think Kirk Cousins is because Kirk Cousins is going to a Super Bowl ready team right now. But when you talk to Mike Zimmer, the biggest challenge for Mike Zimmer with those three guys, Teddy Bridgewater, Case Keenum, and Sam Bradford, is what are they going to do next year? Can Case replicate his 11 wins as the starter with this football team? They went with Kirk Cousins. Case goes to Denver. And I'm going to tell you what John Elway is going to love about this guy right now. These players here in Denver, this offense was the second worst offense turning the football over. They had 34 turnovers. They had 22 picks. With a plethora of quarterbacks, they couldn't figure it out. As quarterback himself, John Elway, he knows that he's getting a quarterback in Case Keenum that only threw the ball away 7 times a season ago. And Mike Zimmer says he's got a big arm, big plays, and he's smart.
He's got Emmanuel Sanders and Baby Thomas to throw the ball
exactly.
to as well.
Well, Steve knows that on the aftermath leading into the playoffs, I made a big deal saying, I'll take my chances with Drew Brees and quarterbacks who've been there before. Case Keenum and Nick Foles, you're going to have to prove it to me. Well,
how'd that work out?
Nick proved it, and really Case in that first game proved it against the Saints. He did not have a great NFC Championship game, so that's why he got paid. You talk about not turning the ball over. You guys are going to think I'm crazy here, but Tyrod Taylor,
I don't think you're crazy,
who protects the football, is going to a situation in Cleveland where you have a lot of pros now, John Dorsey and company, who know how to surround him with good players. The Browns will draft a rookie quarterback, but with no pressure to play right away. I think in that division, with what the Browns are doing, Tyrod Taylor is going to have a chance to lead that team into contention this year.
Oh, and by the way, Hugh Jackson, and Todd Haley is the offensive coordinator now, too. Quarterbacks and receivers and running backs have done well. They've got him some pieces. Guys, I'm going to cheat.
And they're not done.
They're not done. Go ahead.
You finish.
Well, I'm going to cheat a little.
We need to go back to Kirk Cousins.
Well, let's go back. Go back.
We got to go back to Kirk Cousins because, here's the reaction from players because, you look at the money, you look at the guaranteed money. So when I talk to Vikings players and text with them this week, the reaction is the consistency. What do you give me now? And, Kyle Rudolph texted me 3 straight seasons, 4,000-plus yards. The guy has proved that he can do it in this league, but can he win a Super Bowl? Is he the quarterback, Mike?
Well, winning a Super Bowl is tough. And listen, when Kirk Cousins is good, like in that game at Seattle last year, you go, oh, yeah, he could take my team to the Super Bowl for sure. But then there are enough times where you go, it doesn't look so good in a big moment. The Vikings obviously believe he can, and that's enough for me.
He's going to a perfect situation. I just really quickly want to bring this back, even though he's not changing teams, but he kind of did Jimmy Garoppolo. Because he's the one who reset this whole quarterback market.
He sure did.
Okay, they were 0-8 when they made the trade for Garoppolo, so they were probably picking top 1, 2, or 3. So in that situation, had they stayed there, they would have probably got Kirk Cousins in free agency, or they'd be drafting Darnold or Josh Rosen. So this is what set the domino. So Jimmy Garoppolo, as you talked about
and they got him for a 2.
And they got him for a 2.
Thanks,
paid him.
Thanks, Patriots.
Reset the financial market, though, $27 million a year. But I think Jimmy Garoppolo, in this situation, they're building pieces around him. I think he's the guy who could be the big difference maker with all of this quarterback movement that we've seen in our states. They're getting